Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayume and Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
Whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world.
And we're on.
Hi.
Hi there. How's it going, my friend?
Oh my gosh. We are back on the air. Can you believe this? We are after a hiatus.
Yeah, I was just going to say the exact same thing. A 2-week hiatus. Was it 2 weeks? I think it is.
It was longer.
Was it longer?
I feel like it was longer because we've had some intensity in our private businesses and our private lives. And we've had our Circle Sisters gathering this weekend. We had our night with spirit. We've been busy, girl.
We've been busy. I love it though. It's been great.
I love it. Yeah. The last couple of times we've actually tried to podcast, we end up doing shop because we have to.
We did. We started talking shop and like next thing you know, 2 hours have gone by. I guess we're not podcasting.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Yeah.
No. And the behind the scenes, right?
Not really.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
But yeah, how are you feeling though, Mayume? It has been a really busy couple weeks. How are you? How's your heart? Where's your mind?
Oh gosh, it's so funny. Do you know? I mean, it's spring equinox, right? Yesterday was a big day. And it's kind of the season of the Aries, according to some. And so that's me. Yay. And it was like, this is a good time to try to get shit done, do things, heal your body, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm feeling pretty good. Other than today, I'm congested and stuffed up because when spring comes, I get massive hay fever and allergies. So I always wake up with a stuffy nose, runny, sneezing until my Zyrtec kicks in. So I'm waiting for that to kick in right now. So I'm all stuffed up. Can you tell? I mean, I feel like it.
Well, I can't tell. I can tell
Really?
because I'm seeing you and you've got the Kleenexes. So I can see that, but that is like my normal, right?
That's right. That's right.
I've always got a little drippy nose. But yeah, that was a big day yesterday. That was a big day. It was William Russell's birthday as well.
It was? You froze.
Sorry. So did you.
Oh, weird.
Oh, there we go.
That was weird.
That was very strange. It's just like, I said it was William Russell's birthday yesterday and everything went.
That's right. It just went. Yeah. Wait, were you still talking?
No, as soon as you froze, I stopped talking. But
I said,
I was right after.
Yeah. And so I kept talking. So we'll see. Because I'm curious to see if we still, anyway. Sorry, folks. Keep going.
Yeah, no. Well, it was funny because
William.
All day yesterday, the electronics were fucked up. So that was really hilarious that it just did that because I know it's his mom. I know it's Janice. She's coming through and changing the channel and moving she's just very, very trying to get through her little boy, her one boy birthday out of 6 girls. Wow. So she's very, very prevalent. So that's probably her. Hi, Grandma Janice.
I forgot that it's 6 girls. I mean, like I know of 3. There's 3 others?
Yes. What? I know. He's like a little, 6 sisters, but he is also, we did that Molly McCord astrology chart ever at our,
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should talk about that. Yes. Keep going.
Well, I did the one for William Russell, and he has always thought he was a Pisces, but he's actually an Aries.
Hold on a second. When's his birthday?
March 20th. Wait,
hello. That's the dumbest question I've ever asked.
I'm like,
that might have been the dumbest question I've ever asked. Well, because this is what's so interesting is, you mean this whole time he thought he was Pisces?
Yes.
His whole life.
Yes. Well, because he's right on the cusp, right?
Yeah.
So he's on March 20th. So he's always considered himself, a Pisces. And then when he did the chart, with his birthday and his location of birth, time of birth. He was
Yeah.
like an Aries. And so it was like this really fascinating. And he does exhibit really strong qualities of both. He's very passionate, like an Aries. He's very directive, but he's also a water sign, like, Pisces is very
That's why he's on
compassionate,
the
very
cusp.
kind.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's literally on the day, March 20th. So it's really
I
funny
love that.
that it's
He's also very kind and compassionate because those Aries are just bitches, man.
total
Yeah.
sea
I,
bags.
I love the
No,
way you
I'm
said that.
kidding.
Yeah. So he is,
No,
yeah, he's
no. I did not mean it that way. I love my Aries women. They're my fucking my gold. They're the ones that
oh,
push me in my
that
life, and
is
I love it so
so
much.
funny.
Yeah, but they're yeah, because Pisces are dreamers, they're artistic, that's totally William, very you know, just he just exhibits so much of that. But then there's this Aries in him that, so it was just really interesting. And then to have it on the equinox, I mean, it was a big day
Yeah.
yesterday in the
Yeah.
Russell house.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I love
Okay.
it. Yeah.
That's probably why we weren't meant to podcast yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a
Or you
lot
feel
going
like because you
on.
were you were quick to say, oh, let's just go ahead and do it another
Um,
time.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
you're getting swamped. I'm swamped. We got so many things. But yeah.
Yeah. Just no doubt.
And I don't know, the equinox was kind of it, I don't know. It felt anybody else feel that? I wonder in our audience yesterday
I'm
or March
curious. Yeah.
20th.
Yeah.
And they say it
March
will
20th.
continue this week, like you'll still
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah. I agree.
That power, that,
I want it. I want that power.
oh, yes, girl. Yes. So what about so was your day very busy yesterday? You were saying it was
Yes. My day was a regular day of homebody with mama and taking care of a lot of personal stuff and marketing. So that's kind of what it was,
nice.
you know.
Love it.
So yeah, I mean
Because
it was
it's
all
a
good.
time of fertility. The druids and the witches, they really love March
Mhm.
20th because it's supposed to be this time in particular is a time of fertility, creativity, and renewal. So I thought that
Yeah,
was really
renewal.
cool. I love that word, renewal. Well, that's interesting because our sister circle was at a place called Renew
Renew. That's what I'm doing right
Wellness
now.
Center. Yes, isn't that
Yeah,
fascinating?
it is
Um,
fascinating.
I love that. So, we did a night with spirit that was on the 16th, which was also the day of a lot of weird. I mean, it
Birthdays
was
too.
yeah, it was it was the day that my one of my really dear friends, Shannon, who passed away from breast cancer last year, that was her birthday. But I didn't know when we booked it that
Really?
that was her day. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I I saw her birthday come through like a couple weeks before, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the night with spirit. So I know she was with me on
Yeah.
that day. It was very, 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 very serendipitous, right? That
Yeah.
feeling of having Shannon there was just really beautiful.
Oh
It was also a
gosh,
big
yes.
day for a couple other things were
Well,
going
my
on.
father-in-law, it was his birthday, John's dad,
Yeah.
Bobby Corelli, and also my brother's Stephen Renee's third daughter, Caitlin. Also, it's her birthday. Who passed? They had three beautiful baby girls that did not make it due to a genetic disorder that they all shared, and so she was the longest living daughter. She lived to be, I think it was 2 weeks, but that was her birthday. So again, very serendipitous of
Wow.
spirit, right? So I think it was
Right.
great. And I mean, how did you feel the night went? I think our listeners, I know some of our listeners were there, but this was our
Yeah.
first night of truly, other than the goddess gatherings that we did, very different energy. This was, to be really specific, is a platform mediumship demonstration is what it's called and what it is. And it is when a medium or mediums provide messages for a public audience. And we did this virtually over Zoom because we can, and so that we're able to reach more people, I think, that way, especially a lot of our clients and listeners.
Yeah.
And then our hopes is, to maybe do one in person together. So I know that I
Yes.
do these as well, and group readings are private, but these public demonstrations are really, I think, really valuable. So, um,
Yeah.
and I'm curious to see how many people in the Seattle area would be open to going to see one, us together if we were to do
Yeah.
one, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was really fun. I mean, it was beautiful and brilliant. And, we don't want to get into the details, of course, because, you'll want to, join us if you want to connect with departed loved ones, or sometimes the odd animal pet will come. Like, I
Oh,
mean, who
yeah.
knows what's going to
Oh,
happen?
spirit
So
animals all the
it's,
time. I'll have a
yeah,
dog just like run through one of my readings in a group reading, or I mean, you're like, oh, there's a dog here.
yeah,
Yes. So
yeah. I
it's really
love
cool.
that. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was, I mean, I love that stuff. I love the way those kinds of sessions can be are are just so healing for, I think, for people, just to have
Absolutely.
affirmation. And I thought it was really cool when there's two of us. It's a different dynamic, isn't it? Because then
Very.
you're picking up on things that or I'm picking up on things that you may have already talked about with this particular person, which is kind of one of the things that happened, that validates like what I'm saying, but also for the reader to feel like, oh, wow, okay, two completely different person who've not talked about this at all.
Yeah.
I think it's a validation process for folks that are really mourning and healing, that
Yeah.
this is real, that spirit will find a way to connect with you no matter what. Yeah.
No matter what.
So
I really do believe that. And I hope that, one of the reasons why we have this podcast and do the work that we do is to reach people, to let them know that we are not alone. We are light workers. And now is a great time with the spring equinox too, to shine your light, and like heighten your
yes.
intuition and really tap into what you're sensing and feeling. And I want people to know that our loved ones are close by, and they are always, always there. They have not died. There is no death. We continue on. And I love what I do. I think mediumship is a great way to really connect with spirit. And I know it helped me immensely. Another medium
Mm,
helped me. So, which is why I was able to kind of really come to terms with, okay, I am meant to do this work so that I can help others, because I know how much it helped me. And,
mm,
and just continue my craft and growing it and getting better. But it also means not just the departed loved ones, but now we got angels involved, which I love. And we've got
mhm.
ascended masters who show up. So it's in spirit guides. Sometimes we'll see guides behind people and like that aren't actually related to them, that are there, these beautiful entities to help. This is all here for us. So you, listener, have a
Yeah,
spirit team. And I just want to help you learn who they are and how you can use them, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That's
come
what
on,
we
light
do.
workers, let's do this. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what we do. That's what
Mhm.
our goal is with this, with our podcast too, is right. Just understanding that there are things sometimes we can't explain. And I know, coming from a very cerebral background of mine in nuclear medicine, you don't have the bandwidth a lot of times to believe in some of this stuff, right? It's really woo woo, it's out there.
Yep.
It's like, it's taken me a long time to bridge the gap between my science brain and my woo woo brain. It's taken a long time for me to really acknowledge that. Well, I say a long time, but I mean, I've been doing both forever. But there's different stages of acceptance, right? You get to different phases where you go, okay, there are things that science cannot explain yet. What if
Right.
that's the case, right? What if that's really the case here?
Yeah.
Because after, seeing some of the things that we've seen and heard and felt, and smelt and tasted, all our clair senses awakened, there's
Yeah.
just no making up this shit. I cannot tell you how many times Mayume and I have, after a call or something, we can't make this shit up.
We can't
You
make
just
this shit
can't.
up.
You can't make this shit up. It's
No,
crazy,
it
you
is. And I
know.
don't care
I
what anybody says. Those skeptics out there who are like, oh yeah, the medium looked that up, or they, do you know how much time that would fucking take if I was to try and research information? Like
yeah,
it just, and the things that spirit gives us, there's no way you can
yeah,
find that anywhere. And that just is, I don't have time for that shit.
yeah.
So,
But I would say though that there are, like in every profession, there are predators.
yes,
There
of
are
course.
predators that give, they bastardize the profession, right? They
Yeah.
dilute the integrity of what we do. And
Yes.
I think that's why this is so important for you and I to really stand true and tall and say, if you're meeting a medium or a coach, or anybody that is bringing your vibration down, bringing you into fear, and soliciting a lot of money doing that, um,
Correct.
that is that is what I
Bullshit.
call predatory behavior,
Yes.
and it is
Yes.
self-serving.
And
So
wrong.
it's, yeah, and it
It's
is
so
about,
wrong.
we hear a lot of mediums talk about being in integrity. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about,
Yes.
mediums and intuitives and life coaches that are here not to solicit more work from you, but to help bring guidance and love and peace, and then move on your way, right? And grow
Mhm.
and learn and shine your light brightly. That is the huge differential between, um, those predators. And I think
Yeah.
they're out there though, you know?
They are,
Um,
unfortunately. Like Suzanne Giesman says, do no harm. A medium
yes,
should do no harm.
yes,
I mean, I realize
yes,
I have the sitter's heart in my hand when I am delivering messages and talking. So I'm very mindful of my words. I'm very mindful of my delivery, very
yeah,
mindful of also what's coming through because I have to be ethical. Sometimes they're showing me stuff that maybe shouldn't be said on a public platform. Oh, I see you've had a
yeah,
miscarriage. Like you can't say that shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's
You
like
want to be
maybe
very
there,
respectful.
yeah, you have to be, there's ethics involved with this work, and so I have to really be and sometimes I think it was a hard lesson. I think an early on, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, I had a group reading and it did come up, and I think I said it so quickly because I was like, oh, this looks like, and I felt horrible about it because the
Yeah.
look on her face was like, like some of the
My
ladies there
family
didn't
didn't
know that.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm with my sisters and they don't know it.
Yes, they
Yeah,
don't
that's
know,
really hard.
So,
Oh,
and so I've learned that if the message must be delivered, then I pull them aside afterwards and say, I need
yeah,
to talk to you. But that is something, again, I think all of us should learn. It's just a nice life lesson is that we always have to be in integrity.
yeah,
And when it's a profession, we have to have good work ethics. That includes what we say, what we share, and the information that we provide. But unfortunately, bad mediums get more limelight, unfortunately. You don't hear about all the great stuff that comes out of mediumship. The ones that are in the news articles or on social media are the ones that are the
uh,
bad ones, right? That's what you hear about.
right.
And that kind of
The
sucks.
negative stuff.
All the
I
negative.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It really, what you're saying really speaks to, what, one of our fundamentals. It's like one of the four agreements, being impeccable with your word, right? Knowing that your words vibrate and land not only on this dimension. I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe that our words are landing in different dimensions, all over the place, all the time. So when you hear something from someone who you trust and love, it's not maybe the first time you've heard it. You've heard it through another lifetime, you know,
Yeah.
some lessons. And so I just think when you're in these healing modalities that are so, so connected with spirit and dimensions and lifelines, right? It is
Yeah.
so important to be so impeccable with your word, because our listeners, they will listen to everything you're saying, and they'll remember things that you won't remember. So
Yeah.
it is a really
Yeah. It's
as
so
folks are
true.
going into this light and they're opening up their light worker abilities, there comes a great sense of responsibility, and we take that very seriously. So that's really what I felt, I think, on Thursday and on Saturday
Yeah.
with our sister circle, is how do we really stay, using our words succinctly, using them powerfully, and using them impactfully, you
Yeah.
know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. It was really cool stuff. I just have to say this, and I think I may have said it during the event, but I have to say it again. And it was something I had to share with my family too, because I thought it was so cool and so wild, was when you were picking up, I think it was like your turn, and you were picking up, Spirit was showing you a house, an older house, and showing you a hallway. As
Mhm.
soon as you said hallway, what came to my mind was Poltergeist, the movie. And I saw
Mhm.
the long ass hallway. If you guys are familiar with this movie, most people are, but if you're younger, you will not. But it was this long ass hallway that gets extended and longer and longer. And like she's trying to run down, it gets further and further away because she wants to help her daughter. And it was like, ooh, a scary hallway is what it was. And I thought, I mean, that popped right into my head right before you said, and I feel like kids are scared to go down this hallway or whatever you said
Yep.
afterwards. And I was like, oh, and I was trying not to like interrupt your message and let you continue, but it was so like cool. I wanted to say, oh my God, Spirit just showed me Poltergeist hallway. So I ended up saying it later, but it was wild on so many fronts of how when we come together to do readings, or when we are invoking spirit to come in for messages, right? And we're doing it at the
Mhm.
same time, and uh, and how the differences are, I just think it's cool because you have your whole list of, I'm sure, symbols. I mean, I have symbols that I call them symbols of spirit knows, okay, team, my guides, we know what Mayim wants. Now, if you're a grandmother, please put on this apron and stand to her left.
Mm.
I always wonder, like,
Yeah.
they just know, right? And then that's what
Yeah.
happens. Dad, stand to my right with a flannel shirt like that. I know that's a dad. And those are my personal symbols. Like it would be
Yeah.
different for you. And I don't
Totally.
even
Yeah.
completely, and for every medium. And I
Yes.
just want people
Yeah.
to know, and for each and every one of us, um, we all have this, we all have these tools, all of us. You can be a medium too. You can tap in and try and talk to your loved ones. It doesn't mean, that we're this special and we have this gift. We all have this gift. We just have to tap into it and practice. Practice, practice. I'm happy
Yeah.
to help people who want to learn how. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
It
So
is.
talk to me about how you felt. Let's talk about Saturday night, because we had Thursday night
Oh, yeah.
with Evening with Spirit, which was awesome. And then we had, which was virtual. And then we had Saturday night, our first official, and maybe this is an annual thing, I don't know, Light Workers Unite Sister Circle, which is the acronym LUSC, and we're calling it Luscious Events, because it stands for Sister Circle. We had a great showing of lovely
Yeah.
women. And it
Yes.
was really super fun. And we played psychic games. That was awesome. I loved how
Oh,
there was a
yeah.
couple of people like, oh, I didn't know this was a game.
Yeah.
And
I know
maybe
it
game is
was
the wrong word, but it was just something super,
was
I
an
thought it was super
exercise.
fun. An exercise. Thank you, Manjeet.
Yeah, it was a
Thank you,
little
my
psychic
coach. Yeah.
exercise. It kind of blended into our oracle deck, guidebook,
Yeah.
where you tap into all of your clairs. What are you seeing? What are you smelling? What are you hearing? And yeah, that was really fun. I love connecting with women. Our next one is June 24th. And that theme is all about manifestation. So that's going to be really super fun too, to to just be in community, because we've been Zooming forever with COVID, and it was so fun. It was so fun to actually see. And for me, there were some women I had never met before in
Right.
person, but I have
Right.
been with
Me
them for the
too.
last couple of years, you know. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful to be in their actual vortex, in their energy. You know, it was just, that was just really
To
magical
give
for
them a
me.
hug. Yep. Same. And I got to witness a lot of ladies who are my sacred circles monthly who had never met either. And they've been in there for God, what, 3 years? And so here they are finally like, oh my God. And it was
Wow.
just beautiful to witness. So we humans
Love
need to
it.
be in person. We need to connect. Zoom is great. It feeds all the necessities that it does, but
Yeah.
I love the energy and the power of being in person.
Yeah. Yeah. We had some amazing sponsors. We had
Yes, I saw
Chelsea
pictures the other day.
Sunshine, who made these beautiful gifts for our participants
Oh
that
my
were,
God, they're
I mean,
so fucking cute.
so
These
thoughtful. I just,
little tiny matchbook boxes that she decorates, and her creativity is crazy. And she
mm,
had the theme of
so
light, which
good.
is us light workers. And so she had sunflowers and sunshine, and oh my God. And each one came with a little mini disco ball, because if you guys don't already know, that's kind of our logo, is the disco ball, which is resembles source
Yeah.
and all the lights that come off of it. And so I just really want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, Chelsea. I
Oh,
love
so
mine
lovely.
and so great. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, she made us two special ones too, one for you and for
Yeah.
me. That was like just very personal and very, very thoughtful, because she's
Ah,
just
so great.
so
Amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also had another amazing vendor, Lupini, who's just an amazing creative artist. She has a company called Bold and Clay, and she creates all her own jewelry, so her earrings. And so she
Yep.
gifted Mayume and I a pair as well. So
Thank
we wore
you.
them. Yay, there they are. Oh God, I
I
love
love
mine. I've
mine.
been wearing them
Yeah.
all the time.
Love
And
mine.
then,
Thank you.
oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
she had four of them that we actually raffled off as well. So they're
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful pieces of jewelry. So Lapini, thank you so much. They
Thank you.
were
Thank you. I love him. I love them. Love them. Yeah. That'll be a great
and cookies.
place
We
to
had
shop.
cookies.
Yes. I was just going to say that. And Shelly Pruitt, my angel, she designed these fucking fantastic, beautiful sugar cookies with our photo on it. Took it from
Mm,
our podcast and put them right smack on the cookies. So cute. And so and
yes.
she just whipped it up so quickly, and she wasn't feeling well. I felt awful. I didn't
Oh,
expect her to do it. I said, don't worry about it. We can maybe try for June. And next thing I know, she says, I have them. You want me to deliver them to you? And she put them right on my porch
bless him.
with gluten-free cookie options as well. I
Oh, I
mean, how
know.
beautiful was
She's
that?
the best. I
So
know.
thank
She's
you.
the
Thank you.
best.
She is.
I missed seeing her too. That would have, I mean, I hope that on the 24th we get to actually see her, because I need to give
Yeah.
her a big hug. And
Yeah.
so beautiful. So, you know, I mean, this is it, right? Sisterhood. These are
Mm.
all our sisters that are showing up. And even Renew, this location that we found, it is a wellness center of a really amazing woman, Emma, who is a naturopath. And she has this great studio in Edmonds. You and I have both have had treatments with her too. And she was just amazing. And she just
Yeah.
opened her whole
I
room
know. We're
to
so
us.
blessed.
And
It's like a
I'm
gift.
yeah, just
It
so,
is.
and yeah, so grateful. All this amazing sisterhood to come
Yeah.
forward and help
Yeah.
us so that we can all
Yeah.
shine
And I can't
our
forget
light.
to mention my sweet niece, Madison Varnell. Thank you so much for
Yes.
agreeing to take some photos for us, because when we're working, we're up front, we can't take pictures. So
No.
last minute, she agreed to come in and do that and some videos and put together a cute little reel for us. So thank you, Maddie. Love
Yes.
you
So
so much.
sweet.
So
So
much.
much, sweet
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, that was fun. I think the night with spirit was really interesting too, because it was really fun to you had mentioned earlier about the hallway and the scary and I could see it very differently obviously than your because it wasn't it wasn't, it wasn't like an illusion. It felt very real. It felt like I could see the hallway and I could feel this vortex and I could see the kids being afraid. And then right away, somebody put their hand up and said, yes, there's a house that we're at. The kids don't go down the hall and neither do I. So it's fascinating how the two of us have these, it could visualize or picture something. And that was a scary movie for you. So
Well, it was
that
just
brought you
spirit was
fear.
just, yeah, just, yeah, spirit just said no scary. That was just my symbol so that
Mhm.
I would understand it was a scary hallway. That's all
Right.
that meant,
Exactly.
right? Exactly. And
Yeah.
then once we started connecting, because I was letting my guides tell me too, then I could see the hallway as well, right? But I
Yeah.
wanted you to finish because you had started with her, and that's the thing too. When you got two mediums, it's kind of hard because I have stuff coming to me as well, and I don't know when to add them, or do I wait to the end?
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky. It's a little balance because you don't want to interrupt the flow of
Yeah.
what's going on and what you saw. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's really, it was a lot of fun. We're probably, I don't know, maybe stay tuned. Maybe we might do more of those.
Yeah,
So
I
if you
think we
missed
will.
it, just stay tuned
Yeah.
because it was really fucking fun.
I would really like to, and if you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram, follow us on
Yes.
Instagram, because I think we're
Yes.
going to do some planned and maybe some random videos where we're going to jump on and do some readings. We've been talking about it and I think we're going to do it. We just have to find out
Yes.
technically, like ahead of time, not right before we do it, and figure out how to do it. We've jumped on before where we're talking and promoting things, but this time we want it to be interactive where you can join. So we'll probably make
Yes.
announcements or send an email out to our separate newsletters, maybe here on our podcast, as well as Instagram, to say we're going to go live on a certain day to do readings. And maybe we'll be on there for about 30 minutes to do readings, who knows, or even
Yeah.
use our cards, our oracle cards, and do readings with some cards on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's what we
coming.
should do. Why don't we do
Absolutely.
that like this week? We have our cards, our
Oh, let's
little
do it.
10 version,
Okay.
not the real ones, but
Okay.
we have them. We should do
Because
that.
the real ones are coming.
Yeah.
April 6th. So the first
Yep.
week of April. So we will definitely be sending those out. And so stay tuned. And if you don't have them yet, you need to get them
You
because
need
they're
to get them.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They're
We
so
have to
beautiful.
They're so beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm curious,
Yeah, it's really
how will
fun.
we get these to our beautiful listeners and the people who pre-order? So if you're wondering, like, I want to order them, how will I get them? I think that's something we should talk about. Maybe we should hold
Yeah.
a gathering and say, come pick up your
Oh,
cards and
I
meet
love it.
us, spend some time with
You're
us.
so clever, Mayum. Look at
I
you always
think
coming up with these
so.
great fucking ideas. What's
I
going
think
on
we do.
here?
No,
Girl.
don't you think that would be fun? Like, okay, we've got
Oh,
yours. Come pick them up. And if it doesn't work out that you can't make it at the pickup, then we'll figure it out. We'll get your
yeah.
address and get them to you. No matter what, you will have them. But it would
Mhm.
be really cool to meet our beautiful listeners in person.
Yeah, like just a little gathering, like a little
Just a little
cocktail
gathering.
gathering. Oh,
Yeah.
see, girl, you coming up with all kinds of cool ideas. This is it. This is Mayum's brain. Everybody gets to
Sorry.
see it
This is
working
what an
live.
Aries does, apparently. I don't know.
It's my favorite. I'm like, oh, we're having another party.
Well, yeah, that's true. Mayum loves to throw parties. I do. I love
She's
gatherings. All kinds, small, big, massive. I
oh
don't
my
care.
God. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Can't wait.
So we were we had said we were going to record because we were going to ask each other some questions about how we see spirit.
Yeah.
So what was the question you had for me before? I know we started with something and I said hit
We just start
record, but I
yapping like
can't
blah, 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 blah. Oh gosh, I
but
know.
I can't
Okay.
remember what the question was. Did you because
Uh,
I think light workers are all seeing things differently, right? Like that's the
yes.
whole point of our oracle deck is that, you might be really big at smelling things. You might be really big at seeing things or hearing things. So just
Right.
tapping into that, whatever your power is in your clear senses. Did you know?
I
Okay.
remember now.
Remember?
Yes,
Okay.
it
Good
was.
God,
Well,
help
it
us.
was in the. I know. Well, it was a while ago now because we got on. I asked, and then we started yapping and drinking coffee and shit. So, it is this. How in the world Do you see, not how in the world? Because I understand this because this happens to me at night of all things. Why the
Oh,
fucking
geez.
why would spirit choose
Yeah.
nighttime when it's when I'm relaxed, obviously, to present themselves in front of me objectively? And what I mean by objectively meaning like not even, they're not even solid, but I can see it with my eyes right in
Mm,
front of me, where when
yeah.
I'm doing readings that doesn't happen. It's in my mind's eye that they
Mm,
appear subjectively. So it's in my mind's
yes.
eye, like a thought or a movie where I visualize inside my head a person, and I can see them walking around a room and moving, but it's all done in my mind's eye, not
Yeah.
outside physically. Does this make sense? Am I
Yes.
making sense?
Total.
Where
I
Miss
mean,
Manjeet here sees it outside her mind's eye. And it doesn't, and my
yes.
question was, doesn't that freak you out? Because I don't like that. And when it
Yeah.
happens to me, it's always at night. There was one time I was talking to someone and this beautiful orb was floating on right beside her head. And I was like, is that,
Mhm.
I remember looking around the room, does anyone else see that fucking orb just glowing and bouncing and just sitting there? And I stared at it so hard because I was like in disbelief that I could see this, right? And so that would be me if I was if I was seeing things like that. I would be so distracted by, holy shit, I see you. So talk to me about how that comes to you and why it doesn't scare you. I shouldn't say scare. I don't want to put fear in anybody because maybe this is
No.
how many people see it. I just think if spirit did it during the daytime, maybe I wouldn't be so scared. They choose nighttime.
Well, I think it's just, I mean, I mean, I'm like you have been seeing spirit since I was very little, and I just turned it off. And, whenever I didn't want it to interrupt me because it was scary and I wasn't armed, you know?
Yes, correct.
And so since I was very little, I remember my parents would have people come over and I would read their hands. And I was like 10, you know?
Wow.
So, but I just kind of shut all that down because I was getting older and I was going to nuclear medicine school and I was doing like a whole bunch of other shit. But I remember from that point, from a very young age, being able to see things very solid. But I also had a
Very
father
solid.
who was very, very spiritual and was like, you're in charge.
Yeah.
You are the light worker. You are the human manifestation of God, right? Of the cosmic. You're in charge of what is happening and what you're able to see and what you don't want to see. And so I always felt powerful in that regard, whereas, you know, and I think that's what we bring to our light workers. Whatever is happening, whatever the transition is, whatever the messaging is, it's important to stay in your power. Otherwise, you will be fearful. Otherwise, you
Yes.
will, your vibration goes lower and then you
Yes.
get, scared and nervous, right? So
Yeah.
I think I just learned, and that's totally my dad. It's totally
Yeah.
him because he's a warrior and he's the one who said, Manj, if you don't like that shit, you tell him to fuck off,
Yeah.
move out of the way, and don't deal with that. Right. And I did. I've done that my whole life. And
Yeah.
so you become the one who's discerning about what the messages are. And so I'm used to that. I've always been used to seeing like real things kind of coming forward. And I always say beforehand, and we've talked about this in another episode,
Yes.
is the prep work is critical.
Right.
You
Yes,
and I
I
don't go
agree.
into anything without prepping ourselves because what that does is it brings confidence and eliminates fear.
Yes.
Stopping, breathing, opening your crown, protecting yourself, right? Or giving yourself that the power in your power, grounding yourself. All those things are happening. And so whenever whatever wants to come forward, that's that's what happens. And so for me, it's always been just more solid, very much so. And then
Solid.
things move all the time around me, all the time. It's like
Wow.
they have a different kind of energy,
Yeah.
because I want that to see them that way. So they'll like right before nobody knows this, but you and I, before our night with spirit, my door opened. Remember? My
Oh shit. Yeah, your closet
yeah.
door.
And
No,
so
thank
I'm
you.
just
No, thank
yeah.
you. I'm good with my
See,
mind's eye. I'll stick with that.
yeah. With I know with but for me, I was like, okay, I see you, I see you, I see
Yeah.
you, I
And you
honor
even
you. I
said to
knew it
me,
wasn't bad.
yep, yep. You told me that. And then you said, should I close it? And you're like, I'm
Yeah.
going to leave it open because I don't want it to do it again.
I will because I knew it would. I
It
knew it
would.
would. It would just start
Ugh.
opening, and I was like, no,
So
I just
what do
that
you think
okay,
that meant?
I
What do
honor
you think that
you.
meant? It opening like
Well,
that? Well,
I
I
think for me, it was kind of symbolic in that it was like I was opening the door to spirit.
that's yeah, that's what
Right.
I
I
was
felt
gonna say too. Yeah.
to me, it was like
Yeah.
we're here. And I know you are, you were talking about earlier the archangels and like those are for me, it's the goddesses, right? It's the goddess energy and the Akasha. Those are and the star seeds. They're like the ones that really come
Yeah.
before the reading first for whatever reason. So that's another thing that's so fucking brilliant, right? Is
We're very
we
different
both
that way. Yeah.
bring completely different
Entities
energies,
and
entities.
energies.
Yeah. And so that was really because I could whatever the fuck they are. I don't
No, we
know.
just said it opposite. I said entities when you said energies, and then you said entities when I said energies. We just kind of wonder if it'll come through.
I love it. See, we're
I
so
know.
connected. But it,
That's
it
so
is interesting
funny.
how so I could tell this was like very strong, kind of like this goddess energy. It was like this powerful God and goddess energy that was opening the door, saying, okay, I'm
You
ready.
know,
I'm ready.
it makes me, I love that. I absolutely, and it makes me, this is coming up for me right now. I realize that a lot of our connections and then what you speak to and reference to is a lot of female energy comes to you. Because
Mhm.
you're saying goddesses, not necessarily gods, goddesses, star seeds, and you use, the pronouns she's and her a
Mhm.
lot. And I just right now
Mm.
had this aha moment, I guess you could call it, where most of mine are male. All of my
Mm.
energies and what I connect to are mostly male. Even my
Interesting.
guides, Jung Yu, the two of them were male. Chief is a fucking massive
Yes.
male energy. And then the
Yeah.
archangels, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel. Gabriel
Yes.
shows to me in a very masculine male way, even though Gabriel can be female energy. Why do you think that is? Why I have a
I love it.
lot of masculine um yeah, energies and entities that come forth. It's very very, very, very few do I have a female unless I call or invoke it.
Wow. Yeah.
Wild.
When I wonder if it is, because it's about balance, I think.
Oh, you mean
Maybe,
because of all the bitches I have in this house? No, I'm just kidding. I love them so much. All the
I know you do,
females
but
I have in this house?
energy,
Okay,
I don't know. I
maybe,
wonder if that
maybe.
is maybe where what we need or what we
What
want
we
or what our
need.
clients want, for
Yeah,
us to channel more of, because there are definitely times
yeah.
when I'm feeling more like, okay, Michael and Shakti, like Shiva, like there's a lot of male, and in Guru Nanak, who's one of my guides, Guru Gobind Singh. So they're like more
See, and I don't know
Indian
any of
male.
those names. And maybe I don't
Well,
connect with
yeah.
them because it's not,
Well, they're my
yeah,
religious upbringing, right?
yes,
They're like, and they're all
exactly.
male. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I feel very comfortable
interesting.
with that energy. I always have.
Yeah,
But as I'm growing older, there's a lot of female energy. It's almost like a balancer. It's almost
yeah.
like, I'm trying to create more. That's what I need to create balance in my life, because I have some really strong men in my life already. Two powerful brothers. I have my father. It is like
That's what it
he's
is
in
then.
my heart all the time. So my
Same.
dad is a big part of my life,
Yeah.
as my spiritual mentor. Like when I'm in trouble and I've seen some really fucked up shit, I I go to my dad. I have always gone to my dad. He's been
Same.
that one. Yeah.
Me too. My dad is that. He just does it
Yeah.
across the veil now. But it's
Yeah.
it's really, really interesting that you say that because it just dawned on me. I and I mean this in the kindest way, other than my husband. And yes, I have two brothers, but they don't impact my life this way. They're not two powerful
Yeah.
sources in my life. I lost that with my dad. I mean, I say
Yeah.
that and I hear him say, no, you didn't. But
Yes.
physically on
Yes.
this plane, I don't have
Yeah.
a male presence in my life like that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
Yeah.
why these archangels give me that, because I
I
need
love
it.
that.
I
I
do
think
too. Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Miss it.
I d-
I have to say I miss having, sorry, Dad. I'm getting all soft now. I'm like, I miss his physical presence,
yeah, of
the
course.
physical body. And anytime shit would go down, I mean, he was my go-to man as well. I went to him for
Yeah.
everything, everything. So yeah, so losing
Oh,
him, and so all these angels that are very strong masculine entities
wow.
come forth to, I think, to
Yeah.
give me that balance of what I need. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think so.
As
So I feel
usual, as
well, I
usual.
don't know. I love talking to you, girl, because you said as usual.
As
No, but I
usual.
do think, there's this physicality of our men and women. And I do really, I know, and I feel very, very lucky and blessed, that my dad is still around, because um it is a huge anchor for me, even though he's so esoteric. Like, my dad is like, oh my God, he lives in the clouds. He's an Aquarian. He's a visionary. He's like, I don't think he's on this planet. That's why he's married to my mother, who is a Taurus. And she just like, I always have this visual. My mom is this bull with her fucking heels in the ground, and she's holding this balloon. And this balloon is my dad. He
Oh,
just can't stay on this planet. He's so
can I?
out there.
I cannot even believe you're saying that shit right now,
Why?
Manjeet, because that is exactly what I see in how I describe me and John. John
Oh,
is my rock, and he tethers me, and I'm a balloon so that I can float and flit and move, but he keeps me grounded. I can't even believe you say that. Yeah, that's so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a very powerful visual I've always had of
Yeah.
my parents, that
Yeah.
but he honors that part of me, that is very. And so I get really inundated with a lot of female energy, but I also have a lot of strong fucking women in my life too. So, I mean, I don't know. I must be just the way that my spirit wants to balance, and come forward.
Yeah.
And I think after my breast cancer journey, that's when the goddesses really came forward, and God energy. So there's a
And
lot of
that
Odin.
makes
And
complete sense. Yeah.
yeah, like, I've had a lot of like powerful God energy. And we talk about this actually in my multidimensional healing certification, where we talk about God and goddess energy from the 11th and 12th dimensions. So those are the way they come down, and they come wherever they're needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Love
really
it.
yeah, I think it's really fun. But I mean, I love that you have your dad with you, Mayum,
I do too. I mean,
just in a different way.
it's in a different way. Um, as a daughter, though, it is true that sometimes, and I don't want to say this because I know what healing it brings to others. When I'm completely saying this to others, they're always with you. They have not died. They're not gone. But it is true. We can hear that, know that, say that, but it still is painful. There's still a
Yeah.
human loss, a human hole in your heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I miss him, and I sometimes like, this is great. Yes, I still have him like this, but it's not the same. And I would take him back any second. I would love it if
Yes,
he
of
was still
course.
here, for all of us, not just for me. I mean, obviously for my mom, for my brothers. I always say, I wonder what life would look like if he hadn't died, if he was still around.
Yeah.
I'm sure many of us say that about our loved ones and the huge losses that come, but it is part of this journey. We are human. Um, we're going to feel all of this pain, and it's part of the lesson. Maybe it's part of the soul contract. I don't know, that we all agreed in our soul family, but
Yeah.
I do look forward to seeing him again in spirit, where I can actually, I hope we appear in physical form where I can actually hug him. I would love a hug from my dad. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, my sister. I know. Yes, I'm sending lots of love there for
Oh, yeah.
him. Yes,
That's
yes, he's
great.
with you always. I know. Yeah, isn't that interesting how you do have a lot of male guides, Angel, Michael, and I mean, and I never, I
Jung
mean, I
Yu
know
was
this,
two
but
males. I mean,
yeah.
and when I had the changing, when Jung Yu left me, I'm still so sad about that. And Chief showed up, who's right here. It's it was really interesting. I think because what they're doing is they're doing what my dad would have done for me, which is
Mm.
Mayume, get off your ass. Let's go. You can
Oh,
do
I
this.
love
I
it.
mean, he really did enforce in me and make me feel like I could do anything and everything, no matter what. And if I failed or if I fell down, he was like, so what? He loved me so unconditionally and so hard and really believed in me. And that was something that I lost. And I felt it, when
Mhm.
he died. I lost that. And I haven't had anything like that except with the guides. The guides provide me
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Oh, what a blessing that
Yeah.
that is, that you are open enough to see that and receive that gift, right? Like
Yeah.
the light worker within you says, okay, I have to shift my perspective. I'm not seeing my physical mentor now.
Right.
Where do I find it in another plane of existence? And they just all
Yeah.
fucking showed up for you. Like,
Yeah, they
I
did.
think this is
Like
a
all these
huge
yeah.
celebration for you that
Yeah, I
you were
agree.
able to do that.
I do love dads. So when I meet other people's dads, I have my friends' dads that I love, 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 love. But no one has ever stepped in and filled and can't. But it- well, Bob Corelli, God bless his soul, kind of filled that in for me until he passed. That was also a huge loss. Like, oh, different kind
Oh,
of dad.
yeah.
But it is. So kind of wrap this up, not making it all about me and my dad, but I really think who comes forward for you, light worker, is meant for
Mhm.
you. And I
Yes.
love the differences between you and me because we're all different and they do show up and
Yes.
give you what you need and what's going to resonate. And so I could sit here all day and say, yeah, I connect with Archangel Michael. And maybe you don't, or maybe you want to, like, oh, but put it out there and just embrace who does show up for you and
Yeah.
know that that's exactly what you need. And you may not sense it one way or the other or see them or hear them, but just know that you can always find out by really tapping in, going within and asking them
Yeah.
to reveal themselves so you know who's with you. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Yeah. I know two of my big I think I've talked about this in another podcast. Two of my big guides, spirit guides, they showed up and they were walking on water, which was really fascinating in itself. And uh they were both disguised as these older men. And I was like, okay, I know you're not an older white dude with big, like blonde, like white, gray bearded
Gray.
people. I
Yeah.
know that. Just, the one of them kind of morphed a little, but it was kind of similar, kind of male, more male. The other one kind of morphed because they're like, are you sure? Are you sure you want me to
You
come
see
out
this?
like and show you? Because it's going to be weird. Because I think some of my guides, quite a few of them actually are androgynous. They're
Yeah.
sexless, right? They don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a sex at all. And so this guide kind of peeled back and morphed right in front of me, and I was like, holy shit! It looked like a fish person with a
Yes,
big
I remember you
bubble
saying
around
that.
his
Yeah.
head. And I was like, geez, holy shit. Okay. Oh my goodness. You weren't kidding. This is weird. But
Yeah.
and we were laughing about it in this meditation, and I was like, okay. So, there's just no wrong
Yeah.
way to connect, right? If you're open and you're just and you remove fear, you're grounded in yourself and you're open, spirit will show up however you need
Yes,
it. Yeah.
however you need it. So that's what I
Yeah.
want people to realize is you don't have to do it my way, Manjeet's way. We're going to
No.
give you, we're going to share with you how we do it. But there's so
Yes.
many ways you have to own your own way and know that it's happening for you. Not like, oh, well,
Yes.
Mayume said that she sensed this and I'm not getting that. It's all for you. It's all for you.
No.
So I have to say,
Yeah.
when you said that, I have to share this. You and I, a few years back now, I'm wondering if it was even during coaching where I talked about Cosmic Disclosure, the show.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you
Hmm.
you've watched it now, right? A couple of times, have you?
I think
Did you
so.
ever?
Hmm.
Did you ever watch
I
it?
think so.
And it's been on for quite some time, but when I first tapped it, it's all about aliens, just so you know.
Yes.
Love saying that. Yes, it is. One of the
Aliens.
aliens, one of how about in the gathering, people remembered that we like aliens. Did you hear someone in the back say
Oh
that?
my
Aliens.
gosh, I know.
I laughed so hard. So we
I know. We're so weird.
we're so weird. The in one of the shows, they had a person who traveled, who was connecting. These are empaths, these are psychics, these are mediums, these are very highly connected, intuitive beings, humans that are connecting with this other world, and they're having these meetings. One of them, one of them meets them and draws them. So they're showing pictures of the different
Mhm.
entities. One of them is a fish. I don't know if you saw that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, like
But I've
as like
seen that. I've seen those
you've seen those. Yeah.
renditions of like reptilians and fish and like
Yes,
all kinds of
reptilians.
yeah.
Yes, reptilians. And it
Yes.
was
Crazy.
wild. I was like, whoa. Okay. So when you just said that, I thought, oh, that's who he is. And he revealed
Yeah. And
himself
it
to you.
took me a while to figure it out, because I did like do some
Yeah.
research, like, okay, tell me what kind of alien fucker this is, because I don't even
Yes.
understand it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
they're part of Atlantis, right? There's like a whole thing about
Yeah.
like these
Yeah.
entities that are kind of
Woo, I'm
popping into
just
this
getting
planet. I know
chills. Woo.
that's a whole nother episode. So we need to
I
just
know.
put a pin in that. The next one.
Oh,
Oh,
if your guides show up as a reptilian, or furry,
or a
because I have
fish.
a short little furry one that looks, or yeah, fish. I had a short little furry one that looked like an Ewok. I'll just say that.
Oh, I
Okay, from
love it.
Return of the Jedi. I was like, what? And he was over touching John, poking, prodding on John. I was like, what? Get out of there, but it was very harmless, but it just was like, what the actual fuck is that? So
Yeah.
yeah, and that was at nighttime, and that was in front of me. That was hard and solid. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's funny though, because they're only coming to you at night when your guard is down like that.
Correct.
Right. So it's almost like before you go to bed to go, no, this is a no-go. You're not allowed to. Sorry, my
Yep.
dog just
No,
like lost his
I
fucking
just
mind
heard.
upstairs.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Um,
Yeah.
but
No
because
go.
that's when your defenses are a little bit low, right? You're in
Yep.
dreamland, you're in different dimensions, you might be
You're
astral
in
projecting.
between.
Spirit just goes, oh, hey girl,
Yeah.
hey,
Can you see me
hi,
now? Yeah.
I'm an Ewok.
Yeah.
I'm coming to say
Oh,
hi.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
No, thank
protecting at
you.
night. That's another episode too. We'll talk about how to protect
Yeah.
yourself before you go to bed. I think that's a really
Yeah.
powerful one. We have a lot of
Yes.
psychic women and men in
Yeah.
our circles that they have a trouble sleeping,
Yes.
can't process dreams. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of things that we can do to take control of that so that we're not waking up depleted, because spirit doesn't want that. They don't want us to
No.
be depleting
Nope.
in our physical being. So that's episode next,
Yeah. They can
maybe.
still do downloads. They can still provide you with information and
Yes.
all this. And you can ask, like, I'll just let me sleep through it, please. I don't need to be conscious
Yeah.
for this. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly.
We're in charge.
We're in charge.
Oh
Yay.
my
Yeah.
gosh, man,
So
that was so much fun.
yeah. And it all started with me saying, how the hell can you do that during the day? Like seeing them objectively like that. Whoa. No, thanks. Yeah. That's
Oh, I
cool.
know. I love it. I love it. And I love
Yeah.
you. That was so
I
much
love you.
fun. I
That
love it.
was
And I'm
fun.
back.
Thanks, listeners.
We're back. We're
We're
back.
back. Yeah, and we're still are looking for interaction. We would love, first of all, I'm going to ask out there, please, please, please provide us with any reviews. If you listen to this podcast and you like it,
Oh,
at least give
yeah.
us a
Good call.
like, give us a follow, give us a subscription, like subscribe. But we would love a little, hey, these girls are awesome. You got to listen to us. The more reviews, because it'll bump our algorithm up and we can reach more people. And I feel bad saying this, but we would really love that to boost this
Yeah.
podcast and get it out there for more light workers. But yeah,
Yeah.
take a moment after you listen to this and send a quick little comment or review. That would be great. We'd appreciate it.
Yes. I
And
love
follow
it.
us
We
on
would love that.
Instagram. On Instagram. Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yep. For live readings coming soon
Coming soon
to
in
a
our events.
theater.
So that's, yeah. I think
Yeah.
we need to we'll talk more as we get closer to June 24th, but
Yes.
spots are filling up quick. Of course, those that were in our first circle, we're giving you guys first
Yay.
dibs to continue this if you want to join. We're hoping to build this circle. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We're looking
Oh,
forward to
so,
it.
so much. There's so many of you out there. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Thanks.
Mwah.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Angie. You guys have a great
Thanks,
and wonderful,
Mayu.
have a glorious day. Bye.
Yay.